Let me start by telling you a little bit about Allen Neighborhood Center and the community that it serves. The Neighborhood Center was founded about 12 years ago, and it is intended to serve as a hub for neighborhood revitalization and for activities that promote the health and the safety and the stability and the economic well-being of people who live on Lansing's east side. In 2004, we opened a farmers market to address the major transportation and financial barriers to accessing really fresh, affordable, locally grown food. We've also done housing-related work over the years, and we've done, you know, in the first half of the 2000s, we were doing home improvement workshops and home tours. As a consequence of the foreclosure crises, we were left in this neighborhood, as many other neighborhoods, with a lot of empty houses. And Eric Schertzing, the county treasurer, had already established a land bank to gather up all of these empty houses to keep them off of the speculative market.
Well, you know, I think this is really all about relationships. You know, we're all into this, we're all in this situation together, and we're all going to get out of it together. So that's really what I see a large part of my role as chair of the Land Bank Authority and being county treasurer. What I bring to the table is forging those relationships. I mean, I'm out in the community a lot, you know, meeting with opinion leaders and community leaders and neighborhood folks. And it's all about doing things together. We're stronger together than we are alone. So Allen Neighborhood Center is somebody that we've worked with for years on many different projects. The Ingham County Landbank Authority, which has been around about 6 years, has worked for most of that time with Allen Neighborhood Center to do things to strengthen the neighborhoods and the surrounding community. The new relationship that's brought in with the Restoration Works Partnership is Lansing Community College. So that's just developed in the last couple of years.
When 2 of these houses became tax foreclosed properties and it became clear to the neighborhood that they were scheduled for demolition, the community became quite concerned and began to meet to see if there were some options that we had to save the houses. The houses in general on the east side being torn down are always a problem, but these 2 houses in particular represent what we call edges and anchors. They are significant properties on a busy corridor that people pass through every day through our neighborhood. As we began to explore what could be done, we approached the land bank, who were the owners of the property at the time, and said, please don't tear them down. We think they're significant. They have social value. They have urban streetscape value. They have historic properties. And after looking at the houses and analyzing the numbers, the land bank felt that they couldn't make the pro formas work within the confines of their budgets. But they were willing to be experimental. And they were willing to hold on to the properties and not take them down so that we could begin to explore alternative solutions.
And about that time, George Berghorn stepped up and he said, you know, LCC is moving in the direction of project-based learning. Maybe there's a way that we can have LCC students in the Building and Energy Technologies Department actually take this on as a real-world sustainable construction experience. Up until this point, LCC students had been hanging out at West Campus building a wall someplace and then tearing it down at the end of the semester, right? So it made eminent sense to us. And we began to work with George and with Eric and talked with the college and Dr. Knight and others. And the upshot is that we formed a 3-way partnership that consists of the Ingham County Landbank, Lansing Community College, and Allen Neighborhood Center around Restoration Works, this project called Restoration Works.
So the reason LCC got involved in Restoration Works was we have a number of programs in technical careers, our building trades program, alternative energy, architecture technology, civil technology, that all make use of various laboratories throughout the West Campus building to teach different techniques and principles to students in those classes. But what we lacked through our laboratories was a real-life application space. So as we thought about how could we go about finding these types of opportunities for our students, we also thought, would it also be to some mutual benefit to find an opportunity that would help the community at the same time? And I knew Allen Neighborhood Center. I live in that area. I knew Joan. I've known Eric Schertzing from the Landbank for some time. And it seemed like this might be a really interesting synergy to explore with the other two organizations. So help us find houses that our students can work in, let them see some of the worst case scenarios that they might ever encounter after they graduate from LCC. Let them really get a look at something that's more complex than we can deliver to them in the lab, but at the same time, build a connection to community, put the community college, or put the community back into community college in that way. Teach our students the importance of also using your technical skill and your professional talents to benefit the community that you're a part of. And at the same time, work with the land bank to address the fact that they have a number of homes. These two from Restoration Works are an example. They have a number of homes that for various reasons cannot be cost effectively refurbished.
The partnership is an unusual partnership. To my knowledge, there is not another collaboration of this sort out there. It's unusual because nonprofit groups generally have project partners that are perhaps the government. So it's not uncommon that we've partnered with the city of Lansing. The county is a less common partner for us. Similarly, I'm sure LCC has a million projects and partners with other educational institutions, but to partner with a 501c3 nonprofit community group is also pretty unusual. And for the land bank to be able to say to us, sure, we'll hold these properties. We don't really know what you're going to do with them. We have an idea of what you're going to do with them, but we'll trust a group of students to come in with their faculty and work on our houses, right? I mean, they still own these houses. These are their properties.
We've had very preliminary conversations with the land bank and with LCC about perhaps picking up additional houses on the Kalamazoo corridor. One perhaps in the floodplain, the possibility of identifying one of those houses, perhaps an empty tax foreclosed home in the floodplain that can become an education and demonstration project for flood proofing. So it's some very exciting possibilities. So we're thinking that the Restoration Works partnership, this trio, this three-part partnership, will find all kinds of ways to come together over the next decade that serve the needs and help carry out the mission and meet the objectives of all three of these organizations.